Good evening, everybody. We are live from Last Out Media Studios. This is Combat Misfits. Good evening, everybody. Thank you for tuning in. We appreciate all the love and support. We have a lot of fight action to get into, as well as some great events coming up. But first, I would like to introduce my fellow host, Chris Thedick. How are you doing today, sir?
What's going on, everybody? It's good to be back after that Thanksgiving break, man. It feels so good to be back.
How was everybody's Thanksgiving, And for the Canadians, you guys have already celebrated it
In October.
so you guys are already well fed. But we are still digesting over here. And I would like to introduce my producers right now, Benny Quinn and Bill Cornfield.
Yo,
What's going
guys.
on, man?
What's going on?
How are you doing today, man?
Fantastic. Let's talk some fights.
I am so pumped. We are kind of at a lull right now, anticipating UFC 269. And, we had some fights over the weekend. We're coming back from a break from Thanksgiving. We weren't here on Wednesday or the Sunday
After.
Yeah. We took a little break, from the, combat action to enjoy some family time. And now we are back 100% focused on the next coming events. So we've got UFC Vegas 44 this weekend. Jose Aldo versus Rob Font.
What do you think about that fight?
Oh, I don't know. I mean, we're going to get into it. We have a lot more. We have Bellator, Sergio Pettis. He's defending his belt against Kyoji Haraguchi. And that's the bantamweight title as well. So there's two bantamweight fights this weekend. Yes, I know, Chris, your thoughts on Bellator, but this bantamweight title fight this weekend for Bellator shouldn't be overlooked by any means. I'm telling you. Look, I get it.
What happens? What happens if one of them wins? What happens? You're going to make it to the UFC.
No,
You're going to make a big stardom.
Here's the thing.
Hold on. Are they going to make a big stardom? No, they're not.
Sergio Pettis has been there. So Sergio,
yeah, and then what happened?
Sergio
Got cut
Pettis,
and went to Bellator. Got cut.
Listen,
see you later. Go to trash.
Let me tell this hilarious story.
I can't wait to hear it.
Oh yeah, this is right up your alley right now.
Uh-huh.
So Sergio Pettis lost to Rob Font, right? Also, didn't look. He had some success in the UFC. However, yes, he did dodge and go to Bellator. But at the same time, some people, I guess, do better in other leagues. I don't.
Well, yeah.
I don't know. I mean,
when you can't cut it in the UFC, you go to a lesser program to kick it.
But here's the thing. A lot of people leave the UFC, and they wind up getting paid more where they are than in the UFC.
Some do.
Like Sergio Pettis, as we're speaking of, is getting paid more now in Bellator than he was in the UFC. Right. That goes to show you that, yes, you can leave for a minor league.
And get paid more, right?
And get paid more. That's something to say.
Well,
and
it depends. I get what they're doing. They're leaving to get paid more. Kudos to you. But if you want to beat the best, isn't the best in the UFC?
I get it. Yeah, I get that.
So I think that is more of a conflict of interest because if you want to get paid, you go to a different program. But if you want to get paid, want to be a champion, like a real champion, beat the best of the best, you go to the UFC.
Yeah, but at the same time, why go to the UFC if you're going to get paid less? You can be a champion in Bellator and make more than what you were.
That's not entirely true though. There's some UFC fighters that get paid millions just to fight, and that's a fact. You gotta have a name. That is a fact.
You gotta have a name, yeah. But
John Jones gets
you
paid
don't
millions.
necessarily need to have a name in Bellator or PFL or ONE FC, and you can still make
more money, right?
More money.
I think that's the other reason is they have more sponsors that can give them more money, so they can pay their fighters more. UFC don't have that many sponsors anymore. They used to. They don't have no sponsors like that
because
no
they
more.
went straight to Reebok, and
Reebok paid them a fortune.
And they're not on Reebok no more. They're on what the heck is that?
Monster gives them a buttload of money.
Monster gives them a buttload of money. Yeah.
There's a few companies that just give them tons of money,
but it's mainly the ones that are making money off of Monster are Conor McGregor, Amanda Nunes, basically the.
That's what I'm saying. Like if you have a big name, you get paid. You get paid. Like, just say Sean O'Malley, okay? He has that factor that he could be a stardom. but he's not. Right? He's fighting another nobody.
Yeah.
December 11th. He's
no,
fighting a nobody.
No,
Let's
he's
not kid
fighting.
ourselves.
I think he's fighting Pedro Munez, which is
A nobody. Guys.
You killing me. Dennis says, "Hey guys, the sound is better. The echo is gone." Okay, yeah, I don't.
Well, the thing is too, like if you have a name, I think you will get paid more if you have a name. You just gotta be, I guess, more charismatic. Like Kobe Covington, he got paid. He's being a joker, pretty much. Like if you want to make sell a fight, you gotta talk shit. If you're not talking shit, you ain't making money. It's just what it is.
All right, so we're gonna get into this fight this weekend because look, for the hardcore fans, and yes, I'm talking to the hardcore fans. You casuals need to hop on board, But for the hardcore fans, this is a great event leading up to UFC 269. And when you're speaking of, Jose Aldo and Rob Font, these are potential contenders for the next bantamweight championship title match. However, it's a shame because the bantamweight title is kind of
in limbo.
Is limbo until Peter Yan and Aljamain Sterling, get that rematch going. So it's to say that look, Jose Aldo is no joke. He was the featherweight king.
I think that's impressive too. That of the turnaround that Jose has had. Like he lost the featherweight belt. He fought back. He won some, lose some, but now I think he found his stride again. He's on another big win streak.
Yeah.
And I think if he wins this against Rob Font, who's a tough fighter, man. Rob Font is no joke. If he can beat Rob Font, and if he starches him, I think Jose would deserve another title shot. If he starches him, I think he has to starch him to get that clear cut title shot. He has to starch him.
So let me ask you this question, because with TJ Dillashaw in the mix and Corey Sandhagen in the mix, kinda, I guess. I mean, he did lose the interim title belt with Peter Yan when he faced Peter Yan. But
kudos to kudos to Corey, accepting that defeat. He's like, I got worked.
Yeah.
He's like, I got worked. I got a lot of training to do. I got worked. Kudos to Corey, man. Corey's a great fighter, man.
But Rob Font hasn't been the most active fighter. He hasn't fought as much. I think he has fought once or twice a year since 2016. He hasn't been the most active fighter. He has won 4 out of the last 5 fights that he's had, and his last victory was to Cody Garbrandt. Which, speaking of Cody Garbrandt, I don't know if you know this.
Featherweight.
He's flyweight. He's
sorry,
gone
flyweight.
down, and he looks super skinny, man.
Happens when you weigh 120. So happens when you weigh 120, you look like a little string bean.
So I don't know. I guess he sees some success possibly happening at flyweight. We're gonna have to find out. But for Jose Aldo, I mean, he's 35 years old. You'd have to think that if he were to lose this fight, it could potentially be devastating for him. I mean, if he was to, want to win a second title,
I don't know. I think he would still fight. If he lost again, I think he'll still fight.
You think so?
Yeah. Jose is a different breed. I think he's going to fight again. For him to say he might retire or give up, no. He's on a real hot streak right now. He's been killing it. I think he'll be all right.
Yeah, he's had some success. He's on a 2-fight win streak, but he's 2-2 at bantamweight. So he's 1-2, lost 2 at bantamweight.
Right.
In the beginning, when he did make the weight cut to bantamweight, it didn't necessarily favor him. But when you think about it, I mean, his last loss came to Peter Yan, who's the champion. So or potentially the champion. Let's be real. Aljamain Sterling's a paper champion, man.
Right, that's what I'm saying. I think Peter Yan's the real champ. Sterling got lucky. He got kneed in the face at the end.
Yeah. So I mean, it goes to show you that maybe if Jose Aldo lost this fight, maybe he could face somebody like a TJ Dillashaw, or he could even fight Dominic Cruz. Dominic Cruz actually fights next weekend at UFC 269. So I mean, the sky's the limit.
I think if Dominic is in tip-top shape, he hasn't been the same since he lost to Cody, in my opinion. I don't think Dominic has been right since he lost to Cody.
Actually, wrong.
Because
Actually,
Cody embarrassed Dominic Cruz because that whole alpha male team could not beat Dominic Cruz until Cody Garbrandt came about and just torched him. Did tricks, dancing on him, jab him up, then knocked him out, and then
Yeah.
Dominic hasn't been the same since Cody beat his ass.
I mean, Dominic, he had so many injuries in his career that a lot of setbacks, and he was out for a majority of the time, but he's been a champion. So, I mean, he's not somebody to overlook by any means at all. But I don't know, where does this bantamweight division stand? In my prediction, I see Rob Font beating Jose Aldo. Maybe it's a bold prediction, maybe.
I think I don't know who's gonna win at this point. Like I know that's hard for me to say, but I think it's gonna go to decision. I think that fight will go to decision. I don't think there's gonna be a clear cut winner. It's gonna go to decision.
But you would think there has to be a stoppage for these two to be in conversation to be a title contender. You would think with all this, setbacks with the Peter Yan versus Aljamain Sterling rematch, and then TJ Dillashaw, who was coming off of an EPO suspension, and he was dominant in his last performance with as much time as he was off. I mean, you would have to think that
I don't see there's gonna be a finish. I think it's a decision.
You think so?
Yeah.
I mean,
But I think the thing is maybe thinking about it more and more. Rob Font is like a straight boxer. He's not a ground game guy, and so is Aldo. Aldo's a straight boxer now too. I think he's gonna hurt Rob Font with those leg kicks. I think that's gonna be Rob Font's like kryptonite against Aldo. Aldo's a heavy kicker. He plays soccer for Brazil. I think that's
and he's training with the Navy, the Brazilian Navy right now.
right.
So he's been training with the Navy, and he said in an interview, since he's been training with this Navy, he has had like a resurgence, of some sort, where he feels as though he's a whole different animal now. So yeah, if he lands those leg kicks,
I think Rob Font's in for a long night.
yeah,
I think that would probably be Aldo's game plan is to leg kick him to get in closer so he can hit him with his quick hands. Because I think Aldo's just a lot faster than Rob Font. I think Rob Font's stiff. I think he's just a bigger guy and he's just a straight boxer. So if Aldo can just do some leg kicks and some work inside, I think Aldo's going to come out on top for a decision.
and in a way, like I do want to see Jose Aldo win. Only because, how devastating it was when he was knocked out by Conor in 13 seconds and had his reign completely diminished, and everybody, was like, oh, maybe he wasn't so dominant of a champion. But a lot of people overlook the fact that how long he held that title, and how many title defenses he has had. Like, just because some guy named Conor McGregor came by and stole the show, look, don't sleep on Jose Aldo. He's coming to the end of his career, I believe. I mean, with being 35 years old. And if he does not get this win, will he be able to see a shot at the bantamweight title? Where does he stand in his career? His legacy is already cemented. Let's be real. He has been as dominant as a fighter as he has been. Like, there's nothing really more for him to prove. If he's able to get this title shot, God bless him. If he's able to get the win and get the title, well, it just makes him a double division champion.
Yep.
And good blessings to him. So also on the card, I want to mention this because Zach chimed in on the last show, right? And he was saying how Clay Guida is kind of like a gatekeeper. Well, he's on this card, baby. He's on this card.
He's a fan favorite. I love Clay Guida. He always been my favorite since he fought Diego. I was like, yo, that guy got heart. I fell for him. I was like, yo, this is a great fighter. I'm gonna watch him his whole career. And yeah, it's hard for me to say that he's a gatekeeper, but man, Clay Guida is a gatekeeper. It sucks to say that, but he's a gatekeeper.
And he fights this guy Leonardo Santos, which
is a nobody.
Is a nobody, but let's be real, man. Clay Guida turns 40 years old December
That's why he's
8th.
the gatekeeper. The
So-
gatekeeper's job is to bring in new talent to prove themselves, and that's what he's doing. This guy, Clay Guida's fighting, is a nobody. He's gonna fight him, and depending on if he wins or loses, determines his career in the UFC. If he beats Clay, he'll have another fight. If he loses to Clay, he could be done.
I think, and this is my opinion and my opinion only, and I may be wrong, and hopefully I am. I think with Clay Guida turning 40 years old, I think this is the way to go out. I think if he gets the victory, I think it looks better. I mean, look, let's be real. Clay Guida's in the lightweight division, bro. He ain't
Right.
never seeing that title, man.
No, I agree.
Yeah,
I don't think he'll
seen that
ever see
title.
the title, but he can't. If he loses, he's still in the UFC. He has a 3 or 4 fight contract. He just renewed,
Yeah.
so he can't go nowhere.
No.
He'll just be there because he gets paid good and he's a fan favorite. So he was always gonna get paid good. He doesn't get paid like these other schmoes with 20 or
No.
30K. He gets paid
Yeah,
good
I
because he's
mean-
a fan favorite.
He's had what? Almost 60 fight 38. He's 38 and 18. So he has a
Plenty of
record of
fights.
38 and 18. So he's got what? Almost 60 fights? Like do the
Yes,
math
he
for
has
me.
50 sorry, 56.
Yeah. So, get
And
in
then you
there.
want me to do the math? I was like 56.
Yeah, I'm not good at math. So let's that's why, that's why I give you
So-
respect.
So the thing is with Clay, he'll never sniff the title, sadly. But does he have a chance to move up the ranks to have a chance? Yes. Will he? Let's be realistic. No, because I don't think he can fight a top 5 fighter. They're all young cats.
Yeah.
He's older. He's taken a beating lately, so he'll be all right.
And then also I want to mention on this card, because we are Philadelphians, and we have a Philadelphian on this card, we have Jeremiah Wells, man. Jeremiah Wells, he's fighting on this card.
Mhm.
He's a Philadelphian, fights at the same training camp gym as Sean Brady,
Mhm.
and he's 9-2. However, he's 35 years old, so he's
He's
towards
up
the
there.
end of his career.
He's up there.
Yeah, and he's had a few fights so far in the UFC since he's gotten in there. He's a Cage Fury Fighting Championship veteran. He came just where Sean Brady came from, where Sean Brady came from, and he's fighting Jake Matthews. Now, Jake Matthews, if you don't know, lost to Sean Brady. So
Yeah.
I feel like Jake Matthews has the shitty run of the stick. He's fighting all these Philadelphians with strong heart.
Yeah, but he might have like something to prove though. Like, oh, I lost to one Philadelphia guy. I ain't happening again.
Well, we got to root for these Philadelphians. We
I'm
want a
not saying that.
Philadelphia card,
I'm
man.
absolutely gonna
Yeah.
like cheer for my boys from Philly and everything. And also, whoever's not from Philly, we don't call Philadelphia or Pennsylvania. If you're from Philly, you just say Philly, Philly. You don't say Philadelphia. You say I'm from Philly.
Yeah,
And there's no
yeah.
all that other goofy shit.
Oh,
It's all
well, you gotta
Philly.
you gotta say it long because a lot of people international will be like, what's Philly?
Yeah, and also too, all you people from Delco, you're not from Philly. You're Delco.
No,
Where Philly
we're
is Philly. You ain't in the hood either. You're from Delco. Delco's not the hood. Give me a break.
man, we're gonna have a lot of people.
No, I'm sick of these pretenders saying, "Oh, I'm from Philly. Oh, I was in the hood. You ain't from Philly. You're in Delco. You ain't
Oh
from
my
Philly. You're
God.
Delco."
Well, look. So Jake Matthews may be trying to prove something. He did lose to Sean Brady back in March,
Mhm.
and that was to an arm triangle choke. And it was vicious. But Jeremiah Wells, look, I don't know what he's trying to prove in the welterweight division because he's in the same division
Mhm.
as Sean Brady. So will these two potentially fight? Who knows?
I think that'd be cool to see if it came back here. If it was here in the Wells Fargo Center, Philly fights Philly, gold.
You would like to see
Oh, I
a
would love that.
Philadelphia fighter
I would
versus
love it. Yeah, I would love to see that.
Oh man.
Yeah, Philly fighting Philly on Philadelphia. Jeez, come on, man, that'd be nice. And Wells Fargo Center and seeing Sean Brady fights. What was his name again?
Jeremiah Wells.
Wells. Be nice to see. I
Eh,
think that'd be cool to see.
I mean, look, I just won a card in Philadelphia. I
we
wanna
had
give-
it like 12 years ago.
Yeah.
Let's see it again.
And now we have, like I was telling you, we have think close to 8 fighters right now in the UFC from Philadelphia. And if Paul Felder comes back, ooh, we could
I
stack
don't know
this
if I would want
card.
to see that. I don't know if I would see that.
You don't think? Well, Paul Felder already mentioned in an interview.
Yeah, I know, but if we had a card full of Philadelphians on there, I don't know if I would want that. I want a draw. I want a headliner.
I do want to draw, but I feel like, I mean, obviously, like we were talking, it would, if it was going to be a pay-per-view, there'd have to be a title on the line somewhere because they haven't done really a pay-per-view without a title on the line in a long time, man. You know?
Like I think if you put a card here in Philly, it has to be a headliner. Has to be a headliner. You need to draw us there. Even though I think it would still sell out. Just say, argument's sake, all Philadelphians are on the card, I think it would still sell out. There's no question. But if you want other people to buy the pay-per-view or watch the event, you need to have better people on there to draw it. Sean Brady's not a big name. He's just a big name because we know him, because we're fight fans. Casuals don't know who he is.
No, they don't. They don't, but they should. Wait a minute. I rep Ambler?
Ambler's not Philly, you clown.
No, it's Montgomery County, isn't it? I think so. Yeah.
Still stupid. Still stupid people there.
Oh, but look, so it's a decent card, but we are amped up for next weekend, and we're trying, man. We're trying to make it there, and I'm thankful to at least have UFC back in our life this weekend because, we're going to talk about it because this is the new thing, man. Over the weekend, Triller had an event, and it was MMA versus boxing, and I hate to talk about it, but at the same time, I feel like this is the new way we're going, man.
I agree. I think that's going to be the new thing, boxing versus MMA. Who's the best?
And on Saturday, it did prove that, even though boxing won the main event, Frank Mir looked, holy crap.
He looked outdated. He's outdated.
And if I remember, Chris, I would just want to speak on this right now because a while back, we were taking a shit on the...
What?
We were taking a shit on the referee. What was the referee's name that we were talking about? I forget. But this weekend, it was Dan Margliotta reffing the main event against Frank Mir. And it was pretty sad, man. Margliotta probably should have stepped in a little earlier.
Nope, did his job.
You think Dan Margliotta did his job? Did you see Frank?
I saw Frank Mir.
You saw Frank Mir.
He stopped it perfect.
You didn't?
He did it well. He didn't do anything wrong.
Did you not see Frank Mir wobbling?
I saw him. He's out on his
feet.
feet. I saw the same fight everyone else saw. I think Margliotta did a great job. Why is everyone becoming soft? I don't get it.
Because you don't want somebody to die in
I want people to die
ring.
in there. You sign a waiver, you're going to die, so be it.
Look,
you take it.
I'm already having a hard enough time getting my girlfriend to watch this shit. I don't need somebody dying in the ring, man.
I don't give a shit. Dude, if you signed a waiver to get in there, I don't care if you die or not. You risked your life for my entertainment. You did it for my entertainment. That's what you did.
So you would continue watching this sport
if someone got their head beat in and they're dying, I will watch again tomorrow.
Oh, my God.
Dude, that's just what it is. You signed up for what you get.
Yeah. I mean, we are combat misfits. We don't give a fuck,
So that's what I'm saying. If you're watching, right, and this guy is just getting pummeled, like, hit fist to the ground, all that. That guy is getting his head bounced off the canvas, right? He dies. You gonna watch the next day? Or are you going to take a break because that was too hard for you to watch?
I'm not going, but it's hard for me to sell this sport to the casuals when people are dying in the ring.
People like that.
No. The casuals don't really like watching people get punched in the face.
You think that.
It's really hard. Look,
hold on. You think that.
But let me say something.
Hold on. Right, back in the day, right, in the Coliseum, right? You think people like to see people die? No, they didn't. But they did anyway, and they liked watching it.
Yeah, those were the gladiator days. Like you said, we're living in a soft era, and I'm trying to sell this sport to people to watch this sport and give a crap as much as I give a crap about this sport. But when you have people dying, people are, not everybody wants to watch. It's hard enough to get people to watch this shit, let alone when people are dying in the ring or being concussed and
People are putting on a facade like, oh, I want to fit in with the cool kids. Everyone's complaining about everything, right? They want to do like that. But in the back of the day, right? Or not that, where they'll go back home on their bed watching the same fight that we just saw over and over and over and take a clip and put it on the TikToks and all that and try to get like that fame. People are all in it just to watch themselves grow. So if you saw someone die in there, I bet you everyone who's a casual and who's soft, right, is going to take a clip and they're going to put it on the TikTok to try to blow up.
See, it's hard for me to give a crap about this Thriller, right? I seen some changes that they did over the weekend. Now they have a triangle-shaped ring. They're doing MMA and boxing rules, so it favors both of them. And they're doing longer rounds. They're doing, I think, some are 4 rounds, some are 7 rounds. Like I don't really know. Triller is trying to market this as a modified boxing fight wearing MMA gloves where every clinch position is permitted, and so is every punch in the book, including hammer fists and spinning back fists. We've seen a lot of that on Saturday. We saw, a lot of people throwing spinning back fists. It's just hard, man. When I looked at this record before this event took place, before this took place, Kubrat Pulev, 28-2, facing a Frank Mir, a former UFC heavyweight champion of the world, with a 19-13 record.
Right.
Are you fucking kidding me? Are you kidding me? What is the deal with these records, man? Triller, why can't we put on some decent fights that we're not seeing somebody potentially die or get concussed? I mean, Frank Mir looked every bit of 19-13. Every bit of 19-13.
Yeah.
It's a shame. And then, so Mike Perry, who was a former UFC fighter, he was 14-8. He fought a guy, Michael Seals, who was 25-3.
Right.
With only 3 losses on his record. Mike Perry has 8. And then you had Derek Campos, who's a former Bellator fighter, 20-11, facing a guy named Brian Vera, 28-18. So, like, it just boggles my mind that they are willing to put these mixed matches on. It just, I don't know, man. I don't know. Look, MMA won that night. They were doing a point system for everybody watching. They had Shannon Briggs, former boxer, former champion, and he was on the boxing side. And then on the MMA side, they had Rampage Jackson. I believe they set this shit up so that Rampage Jackson could fight Shannon Briggs on the next Triller card.
Well, yeah.
Because they promoted it at the end of the show.
Right, they're like, and plus they've been like making fun of each other and all that. Like they're trying to get a payday too.
Yeah, but I mean they're 50 fucking years old.
Right.
Like
but that's the thing. But people still watch. That's the beauty of it. People will still watch.
They'll still watch, and
Right.
and the fighters still want that paycheck.
Right.
It's an
And
ego thing.
That's
It's the
where
ego
we were
thing.
going with this, Bill. Is MMA fighters are gonna continue to go this route because they're not getting paid what they want. So I was talking to Chris before this show. Mike Perry, who's a former UFC fighter, I think he got cut from UFC for having too many losses, as it shows on his record. And so he got cut. He made $250,000 on Saturday.
Right.
More than any fight he's made in mixed martial arts to begin with.
Right.
So as long as these guys are paying what they're supposed to, and Frank Mir also mentioned, he said this was the biggest payday he's ever made besides when he fought Brock Lesnar. And that was a long time ago. So, I mean, it goes to show you that as long as these events are going to pay these MMA fighters, they're going to hop on board, man.
Well, yeah, they want to get paid now. Their career's over. They can't be a champion no more. So these guys are up there in age are not going to be a champion no more. They're going to try to fight a boxer and do like a super fight almost, as you could say, to get a payday because they want to still get paid.
Well, you don't want to fight somebody named Kubrat Pulev who fought Anthony Joshua recently.
Who cares? I'm getting paid. Who cares?
Like, Frank Mir gets matched up with this dude.
Listen, if Mayweather came up to me tomorrow and says, yeah, you want to box? Yup. Yes, I do. Even though I might get cleaned out, I'm still going to box him. Why? Because I'm getting paid. Who cares?
you getting paid or your family's getting paid because you're gonna wind up dying in that ring against
Why would
Floyd
I
Mayweather.
die? Why?
Floyd,
I could take a punch from Mayweather. Let's not kid ourselves. I
oh
can take a
my
punch.
God! Everybody thinks they can take a
I
punch
can
from these guys.
definitely take a punch from Mayweather. I've been in a lot of fights in my life. I fought a lot bigger guys than me, and they hit me hard as fuck. I could take a punch from Mayweather.
From the goat of boxing, you
Yes,
can take a punch.
I could definitely take a punch from Mayweather.
Oh,
Wait a minute.
Come on, right?
Wait a
Some
minute.
stuff,
Wait a
some
minute.
stuff that comes out of Chris's mouth, I'm just like,
If
Chris.
Listen. If I'm fighting,
We're
Mike
here
Tyson,
for you, buddy.
no. Listen,
You-
listen. I'll explain. Right? I've been amateur fighting. I've done boxing. I could take a punch from Mayweather. If I'm saying Mike Tyson, now I'm being delusional. I'm
Yeah.
delusional. Mayweather is 150. I have 40 pounds on that guy. 40 pounds. I can take a punch from Mayweather. I know I can. Do I think I can beat him? Stupid. No, I'm delusional.
all you guys watching out there.
So let's set the parameters for this. So you're saying that you will not get knocked out stone cold in one punch from Floyd Mayweather?
Absolutely not.
Oh my God! I think every
Absolutely not.
even amateur fighters like yourself and Dave, like, there's no way
Nope.
we would be
absolutely not.
all three of us would be knocked out stone cold.
In one punch? No. Stop. You're fooling yourself.
He knows where to hit us, though.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's
but
not
that's
like he's just gonna hit you randomly in the head.
Are you
He's
saying-
gonna hit
hold
you
on.
in the sweet spot.
Are we saying that I have my hands down and he just snuffs me? Or are we talking about like if I'm
Well,
boxing
you
him?
set the parameters. You're saying that you can take a punch from Floyd. So are you actively fighting him, or are
Right,
you
yeah, that's
saying
what we're doing.
you
We're
get a
fighting.
shot at me and let's
Like,
see
if
what
I'm
happens?
in a boxing match with Mayweather, right? I'm boxing. So I can move around too and
Okay.
hit him too. And you're saying one punch knocks me
I
out?
still think
No.
he would find the
I-
sweet
I
spot
don't
on you and
think-
knock you
no.
out stone
I
cold.
think
Well, yeah, I think he might knock me out, but with one punch, no shot.
I think you are saying this as his last fight against Logan Paul, where Logan Paul actually took him the distance. But
I
you'd
know they
be
were
crazy.
goofing. They were
Yeah,
clowning.
exactly.
They were
You'd
clowning.
be crazy to think that Floyd Mayweather wasn't playing with his fucking food.
Oh, I know he was. But if we're in the boxing ring and we're just boxing and he's doing his shoulder roll and all that, I've watched Floyd. I could probably get a few punches in on him.
Oh,
But
man.
you saying he's gonna stone me in one punch? No.
I don't.
No
I
doubt.
mean, he hasn't knocked somebody out in what, fucking 6 years or something like that.
Well, that's true. I'll give you that. I mean, he's the most technical, he's the most boring fighter on the planet. I mean, his most exciting thing was with Conor McGregor, 6 years ago now,
and I
whatever
think
that
he was playing with him too.
Yeah, he was fooling
Yeah.
around with him.
I just don't think he was giving it 100%. You know, these are exhibition matches.
But,
His
but
record's not
back
on the
to
line.
what we're saying, right? Is that these MMA fighters are gonna do whatever they need to do when they're up there in age to get paid.
Yeah.
That's what they're gonna do. Get paid. And if I had to go in there and fight somebody and get paid, I'm doing it because they're gonna
Yep.
pay me a hefty amount of money.
It's also why other fighters, like you got Ronda Rousey going to the WWE.
Right.
CM Punk going back to the WWE.
Yeah.
They
They're
make
getting
their paychecks.
Yeah.
Conor McGregor is going to go to the WWE at some point.
I
He's going to
think
get
so,
up
too.
there.
I
Yeah.
think he will. I do. He's still at a young age. I mean, he's coming back with hunger, man. I don't know if you've seen that interview. He was like, you know, I'm gonna be training by April, and I think he's on par to
He's
potentially.
big now. He's huge.
He is big. Yeah,
He's a lot bigger.
I think he's. I don't know what he's got up his sleeve, man. But
So where's he going to fight? Welter?
I think so.
I think
that's
yeah.
what-
I
that's
think
really
what really makes. So if we had to think like hypothetical, like what fight would be next for Conor McGregor when he fought? I'm going with the trilogy, man. I'm going with Nate Diaz. Hop back in there. You guys are you. Conor McGregor has not won a fight since 2016. Well, no. Well, he won against Donald Cowboy Cerrone, but let's be real. That was Cowboy Cerrone, man.
What does that mean? You act like he sucks.
Who? Connor?
You just said he won against Cowboy. That's not saying much.
Well, Cowboy is at the end of his career, man.
Cowboy's a legend though.
Cowboy's a legend.
he's a G. He
Absolutely.
ain't no
but you don't
bum.
think Cowboy was getting in there like, yeah, I can knock this dude out. He was like, no, I'm gonna make $1 million and I'm gonna live very much.
All that
comfortably.
shit he talked, he had to back it up. He even said at press conference he's a lot tougher than I thought.
There's a lot of matchups potentially for Connor. So he
Conor
could go
can
up.
pick anybody from heavyweight to flyweight to fight. That he can do that because he got paid like
He
that.
is not fucking fighting Francis Ngannou or Cyril Gane.
I'm not saying he is, but he has a pick of a litter from heavyweight to flyweight.
Well,
if he wants to fight them,
let's
he's getting it.
let's talk about this because okay, He also mentioned in his Twitter or his tweet that he put out
Yeah.
when he said he was going to come back and train in April. He's
Right.
good to go. So he wants to hop right back in for the title shot.
Why not?
And you think he just can hop right back in, right?
Who's gonna say
Hasn't
no?
won a fight since
Hold on.
Cowboy
Who would say
Cerrone.
no? Who would say no? You?
I would
Who's gonna
say
say
no.
no?
When you have Islam Makhachev, you have Justin Gaethje,
Doesn't
you have
matter.
you
It
have
doesn't
Beneil
matter.
Dariush.
It has nothing. If the champion says yes, who's gonna say no? Because why? They're all getting paid.
They're all getting paid, yeah. But I don't.
So-
know. I don't. know.
So
I
that
don't-
argument just falls.
So
on
you
itself.
say he's guaranteed to go right up
Why
and
not?
jump that line.
Why not?
Yeah.
Even do we think it's fair? No. But if that champion, right? We'll just say Usman. We'll just say
No.
Usman. If
No.
he says, "Yup, I want to get paid," he's gonna pick Connor,
But this is where it really does favor Connor. So if Dustin Poirier wins that lightweight belt,
right?
they run that shit back for a fourth time.
Right?
I believe he would hop right in front of that line to fight Dustin Poirier.
I think it's whoever. Because don't forget, on a contract, you have to sign your name. Don't say Dana White. Don't say, "All right, guess what? You have to fight Conor McGregor because I said so." It doesn't work that way. The fighter gets to pick. That's the beauty of the UFC. People forget that. UFC has to sign off on it too. So if Usman sees, oh, Dana White suggested I should fight Conor, he says, "Yup, I'm
you
gonna do
will
it."
have some pissed off lightweight fighters if
Who
he
the
hops
fuck cares?
that line.
Everyone else is pissed already. You think Dana White cares if you're mad at him? What does he say?
Well, Dana
Shut up
White
and
has
do your
also
job.
mentioned he don't give a shit about Conor McGregor. He's not stopping the divisions for Conor McGregor anymore
Well, no, of course.
because he realizes
Because Conor can do whatever he fucking pleases and get paid. Everyone knows it.
yeah. But I just don't see him jumping that
Because
line.
when's the last time you saw everyone keep saying, "Oh, Dana White, let me go to boxing, let me go to boxing." Nope. Conor, hey, let me go to boxing. Sure. Whatever Conor does is okay with Dana and with everybody else because
yeah,
they're all getting paid.
They're all getting paid. Yeah, I get it. But I don't.
So yeah, I agree. Everyone down the strip is gonna be pissed as shit and seeing Conor just jump the line because he gets back from injury and fights for a title. But guess what? That's just how the business is made because he draws in the most money.
He does.
So if Conor says, "Hey, Usman, you want to fight?" Is he gonna say no? No. Hey, Dustin, Charles Oliveira, you want to fight? Yup. Whoever he goes, they're gonna say yes. Even though it sucks for everyone else in that division, but it's just how it goes because he's stardom. He's still popular. He's still got that juice. Because what? He came back for Cowboy Cerrone. Got paid.
Yeah.
Right? He fights Dustin Poirier. Gets paid once again. Like, even though he broke his foot. And
Broke his fucking
but
tibia. and
But still,
fibia.
he still got paid. Everyone's getting paid. It's just how it works.
I mean, yeah. I agree somewhat to an extent, Pat.
Overrated.
He
Give
is
me a
overrated.
How is he overrated?
Conor
How?
McGregor?
Yeah, I want
He's made
an
a big name
explanation.
for himself.
I want
Look,
an-
I'm
hold
a
on.
big Conor McGregor fan, just like everybody
Right,
else.
explain to me why he's overrated. What part is overrated?
Well, he no longer has that hunger, right?
Why not?
He doesn't have that hunger no more.
I-
He
I-
became a 2-division champion, became rich as shit off his whiskey, and became rich as shit off of a Floyd Mayweather fight.
right.
The
but
hunger's gone, man.
yeah,
I'm
the
telling
hunger
you.
might be gone,
you
but
have
how is
multi-
he overrated? You didn't explain why he's overrated. You just said his hunger's gone.
Oh, he's overrated.
What part?
To an extent. To an extent, he is overrated. He hasn't really won a big name fight. He lost twice against Dustin.
He didn't.
Poirier.
What fight? He beat Aldo, who's the champ, in 13 seconds.
That's when he had the fucking hunger. That's when he
But
was
then
hungry.
you can't say
That's
he
where
hasn't
the
beaten
Conor
anybody in the top tier. He beat Dustin already. He beat.
He beat
Diaz.
Dustin when Dustin was still coming up. These past 2 fights, he lost against Dustin. Let's be real.
Well-
got knocked out. Got the leg injury.
All right,
But he was losing that fight against
well,
Dustin.
Yeah, I
He
agree.
was losing that fight.
But he's beaten top fighters. He beat Cowboy. Cowboy was still top. Can't say he wasn't.
Cowboy, like I
You can't
said,
say
man,
he wasn't.
Cowboy was at the end of his career,
No,
man.
stop.
Cowboy was at the end of his
He
career.
was on a hot streak. How can you say he's on the end of his career? He's on a hot
And
streak.
Cowboy, honestly, love Cowboy. Was never really in the top 5. Was let's be real.
No, I agree.
I mean,
agree
he was
in
in
the
it.
top 5.
He was a great fighter. He always accepted fights. I think Dana White really loved that dude because when it came time for somebody to pull out, Cowboy was the man to pull in.
Yeah,
you know?
but even what Mike Tyson said, he took the best boxer of our generation or maybe all time to 10 rounds.
Oh my God,
10
Chris! If you
rounds.
don't think Floyd was playing with him,
I think you guys were fooling yourselves thinking that he played with
you
him.
really don't think
Fool
Floyd
yourselves.
was playing with him? You think Conor was going hard, bro? And Floyd was like,
Floyd was
I
going
can't-"
hard too. You could tell he was.
It's a fucking exhibition match. It doesn't even matter on
no,
his
it
record.
wasn't. It counted for his record.
No.
Yes,
no,
it did.
No, it absolutely
counted
didn't.
on his record because he
I
went
am.
to 50.
I swear on my MMA knowledge and boxing
Look
knowledge.
it up.
He did
Look
no.
it up.
It was an exhibition match. It was 10 rounds.
Look it up.
It was.
It counted.
It was.
Look it up.
It didn't count on his. I swear on everything. It did not count on his
Okay.
record. It was an exhibition match. Exhibition
Hey,
matches.
Bill, is there a way you can look that up?
Please look up if Conor McGregor and Floyd Mayweather fought for his record.
So according to Wikipedia, which take it as you will, they do have him listed as 0-1 in his
Thank
professional
you. I
boxing
rest my
career.
case, everybody. Everybody who ever
But-
doubts me about my knowledge, sit down.
But hold on, let me see if it was
It-
classified as an exhibition. Even if it's an exhibition, you can still be labeled as 0-1.
Correct.
Yeah.
But I'm
it
pretty
was
sure
never.
it counted because they were talking
did-
so much shit.
It did not count. I'm telling you, it did not count for
Why
Floyd
wouldn't it count?
because Floyd's not stupid.
What are you saying?
So that's like saying Floyd and Logan. You know,
no, that was an exhibition. That didn't count for anything.
But here's the thing: it affected Logan's record, but it didn't affect Floyd Mayweather's record. That's what I'm saying. You can Floyd. I'm telling you, none of these fights, exhibition-wise, affected his record. But the other guys, it did. If you look at Logan Paul, he now has a loss from Floyd Mayweather on his record.
I'm pretty sure it
But-
counted
but-
for Mayweather because Mayweather was 49, then he went to 50 after beating Conor.
No,
Yeah, see, he even said it.
He went 50-0 because of Conor.
Thank
he
you.
went 50-0.
But I
Thank
want,
you.
like, is there a better way? Like, I'll refer one of you to. Is there a website that I should go for an official
No, what
boxing
you did was
record?
perfect.
Because
I think-
Wikipedia has him listed at 50-0.
I am telling
Exactly.
you right now, if Floyd lost that fight, it was not going to be a one.
It
on
was.
His record.
Well, yeah, that's a technicality. Floyd would have been like, no, I'm not taking that L
Yeah,
and
but
all
it
that.
counted
crap.
because they both agreed on it. It says, yo, if I give you your first loss from I'm from MMA, what's that going to say, Floyd? And they were
An
just bickering.
exhibition match is an exhibition match.
Dave,
It would not have
Dave,
affected his
I'm
record.
telling you, that fight was more legit than Logan Paul. I'm telling you.
You think Floyd Mayweather and Conor McGregor was legit? Everybody watching this,
Everybody
please
says it.
chime in. Give me your thoughts.
Yo,
I'm telling you, this
everyone-
guy is
listen,
crazy.
Everyone else has said it. Even Mike Tyson says, if you think that was fake or you think Floyd was playing, you need
Floyd
to do
was-
more research.
Floyd was playing.
That's what he said. You need to do more research.
Floyd was playing, man.
Everyone has said the same thing
He-
I'm saying.
he-
If you
he
think Conor
makes-
didn't stand a chance, you're probably right. But to think that he was outmatched, you're fooling yourself. You're joking.
He went in there hard. I'll give you that. Conor went in there hard, but I'm telling you right now, Floyd was not 100% in that fight, man.
Yes, he was.
No.
Sporting News. This is what it said. There's a question on here that says, what is Floyd Mayweather's official boxing record? Floyd Mayweather famously was a perfect 50-0 in professional fights. His last pro bout was in 2017 when he defeated Conor McGregor.
Thank you.
So
So that gave him the 50-0
that
record?
gave him the
Yes.
50-0, as Chris
Yes, I
said.
told you. It was real. What part? You
I
think I'm
don't,
gonna
I
lie to
don't
you?
think so, man. I don't think so.
What are you saying?
But the record says it was.
Yeah, you can't say that.
I don't think it was going to affect his record, win or
Why-
lose.
why?
Dave should go to Las Vegas and say, I demand a challenge. I'm not going to
I don't
recognize.
know.
You gonna file
I
an appeal? You gonna file an appeal against that fight saying they're wrong, you were right,
It's an exhibition match.
but it counted.
I don't know, man. I don't know.
What part don't you know?
I don't know. I don't know about this shit. You know.
What
I'm
part
tell-
don't you know? Explain.
I don't believe that if he would have lost to Conor McGregor, it would have gave him
Yes,
a
it would
one.
have counted.
There had to been some clause in that goddamn contract.
The
You're
clause was the
crazy
rematch.
out of your mind if you
No,
think Floyd
I know
lost.
what the clause
That
was.
would have gave him a one
No,
on his
The
record.
clause.
There was a clause in his contract.
yes, to have a
somewhere.
rematch. To
No,
have a rematch. if
There
he
would have been a
lost.
clause in his contract that wouldn't have affected his record as a loss. You're telling
no.
me he wouldn't have accepted a fight like that.
Why? He
With
thought he was
everything
gonna win.
he's done, as many victories as he had in his record, he wouldn't have accepted a fight in fucking Japan as an exhibition match when he fought that Japanese
and
guy.
whooped his ass.
Yeah, he wouldn't have accepted that if that would have affected his fucking loss.
Because he's confident. He's a cocky fuck that he thinks he's going to win.
You
bet against yourself, right? And when you're a fighter or a player or any kind of competitiveness, you always bet on yourself.
They can put some sketchy stuff in that contract.
You don't know that.
I don't know. I'm not 100% on board with that shit. I don't know. And I'm a person that can accept when I'm wrong, but I just don't know.
You're wrong.
I'm not wrong.
Every news outlet or anywhere you look, it says that fight put Floyd to 50. So what point are you going to prove to say that's not true? Everybody has said it.
I don't know. Look, the point is, right, is this is going to be the new thing, man. These exhibition matches, these MMA matches versus boxers, it's the new route, man,
Well, yeah, they get paid.
And then, I don't know if you saw over the weekend, Teofimo Lopez, who was a prospect in boxing, 2 prospects in boxing lost over the weekend. Teofimo Lopez lost his belt, and Teofimo Lopez didn't accept that loss too well, man. He got on the mic. Well, that's a sore fucking loser right there.
Well, so is Dante Wilder. He's a sore fucking loser.
Oh yeah,
he's still a great heavyweight boxer.
Yeah, but I mean, look, you can't get on the ring in your hometown. Look, even in him fighting in his hometown, he was booed when he got on the mic and said, "Hey, I won that fight. You guys are wrong. I didn't lose that."
Well, he got booed because he was a sore fuck.
Fucking loser. Yeah.
Like if you're gonna come out and talk that shit, like say something.
So he lost. He lost against George Kambosos, and they were both undefeated. George Kambosos is now 20-0, and Teofimo Lopez is 16-1. Now takes that loss. So we had 2 prospects. Brandon Figueiredo, he lost against Stephen Fulton, who's from Philadelphia. Stephen Fulton was on the card, and he's 20-0 right now, and he took all the belts from Brandon Figueiredo, and as well as George Kambosos took all the belts from Teofimo Lopez.
Jesus, you all right?
I'd be stuttering, man. Don't make fun of my stutter. All right, so let's be real. We have Gervonta Davis, Floyd Mayweather's prospect, fighting this weekend, this Sunday. It's a Sunday fight. And I don't really know, because there was a lot of headlines early in this year that Gervonta Davis was supposed to be sentenced to 7 years in prison. I don't know if you're aware of this. He had 14 counts of, I think traffic violations or some shit. Idea. I don't really know. But Gervonta Davis defends his belt this weekend, and I look forward to that. It should be an interesting fight for Sunday. I mean, we're gonna have to find out, what it is. If Gervonta Davis wins, I mean, his court appearance is scheduled for spring. So if he goes to jail, man, there goes Floyd Mayweather's prospect right there. And I don't know, man. We're going to have to find out what's going to happen with that. So we have a lot of action on this weekend. But I want to take these next few minutes to talk about some fantasy fights. Fights that never came to fruition. Are you ready for it?
Sure.
So, a couple fights that never came to fruition. I'll go right now and say Conor McGregor versus Rafael dos Santos. They were scheduled to fight.
A good fantasy fight. That's a joke.
That was supposed to happen.
I know.
And look, Conor McGregor's coming back. He could potentially take a fight with Rafael dos Santos.
No.
Rafael dos Santos hasn't looked so good.
He's been backing out
Conor
of fights
McGregor
left and right.
hasn't looked so good.
Well, the thing is, Rafael dos Santos he can't even get a fight. He keeps backing out of fights last minute. I think any fantasy fight I would see would be if George St. Pierre came out of retirement to fight.
You're saying
Anderson Silva.
Rafael dos Santos pulled out against Islam Makhachev. Who the hell isn't?
No, I'm talking about even when he was gonna fight Connor, he pulled out.
Yeah. So he.
So he's a sucker.
Yeah, I mean,
So if I was gonna say a fantasy fight, I would see George St. Pierre fights Anderson Silva. I would love to see that.
you think George St. Pierre? I think a fight that never came to fruition, which we kind of spoke about on a few podcasts before. Ronda Rousey versus Chris Cyborg. That never
No.
came to fruition.
I'm glad I didn't see it because she probably would have got worked. Ronda,
you
she would have
think
got worked. Yeah, 1%. After what we see, what happened with Holly Holm and Nunez and all that, they found the recipe how to beat her. Cyborg would have did the same thing, beat that ass.
So another one would have been Habib Nurmagomedov versus BJ Penn.
Prime versus Prime. I think BJ would have worked.
Like
Khabib.
if BJ Penn was in his prime,
Yeah, I think he would have worked. Khabib.
and Habib would have been coming up as a young gun then. I mean, he would have still been undefeated, but you know.
Yeah, I think Habib would have got worked.
You think Habib would have gotten worked by
Yeah.
BJ Penn?
Oh yeah.
Oh,
BJ Penn was ruthless. Even if George St. Pierre fought Khabib, and Khabib did not want to fight George St. Pierre,
he does not. No,
No.
no.
I think he would have got
That's
worked.
a fight. That's a fucking
Mhm.
fantasy fight right there. George St. Pierre versus Habib Nurmagomedov.
Yeah, I think.
Two both great ground games.
Mhm.
You know, I mean, George St. Pierre is older now, but
I think he was a lot better too. I think George would have worked him.
what if it happened today? Like what if
George St. Pierre would have worked him.
with Habib being what
George
29
St. Pierre
now?
is more up there in age, but he has a lot more skill than Khabib.
You're talking about some Dagestanians fighting freaking bears, man. Come on.
George is no joke. George is a boss. Still is a boss. He's still in good shape. I think he would work him.
You think?
I think, you know what? I'm not going to get into it because it would be a long topic. But yeah, I have something
yeah.
about Khabib.
I mean, we're gonna have to find out. Hopefully that that's obviously never coming to fruition because
Oh,
Habib,
no, it'll never happen.
Habib is never probably
Because
fighting
Khabib's
again.
father even says, I would love for you to fight George. Really test yourself. Testing yourself is fighting George. That's why I thought of it.
See, and that's the thing. Habib's father died, and now he's going with his mom's word of never fighting again. He
Well,
promised his mom he would never fight again.
Because Khabib's father says, I want you to fight George. That's going to test you to see if you're good or not. Because his father thought George was the best fighter in the MMA. Best.
Oh, he definitely was. I mean, George
Well,
St. Pierre
yeah.
is a freaking legend, man.
I would love to see them fight. Or see Khabib step up and weight and fight John Jones in a catchweight. That'd be another good one. I think John Jones would work him too.
We're gonna have to see what's going on with John Jones because I mean, he's a
fucking
freaking
mess.
joke right now, at least. I mean, with his personal life. And then, so what about George St. Pierre versus Anderson Silva?
I just said that.
Oh, you did say that.
I
All
did
right,
say
so that would have been a good one. Why are you laughing at me?
Because I said that like 5 minutes ago. Bill, did you not hear that?
I did. I would have liked to see John Jones and Anderson Silva. That would have been a cool fight.
John Jones and Anderson Silva would have been good.
Or
Yeah.
John Jones and Adesanya.
John Jones and
Yeah.
Israel Adesanya would have been
Hell, even him at a heavyweight, because obviously he's now in hindsight
He went up to heavyweight.
Right.
Him and Brock Lesnar at their prime. That would have been cool.
that would have been
Well, that would've been
potential.
cool.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I mean Brock Lesnar.
Well, they talked about that when Brock was on Hot Streak and so was John Jones. They thought
Yeah.
about have them two mix it up.
Yeah.
That'd be a good fight too.
and then Brock Lesnar went to WWE and
Well, he went back because he couldn't cut it. He's getting beat up bad.
what in the UFC?
Oh
Yeah,
He also
well,
got sick. He had
yeah,
that,
he had
that
diverticulitis.
intestinal disease or whatever it
Yeah,
was.
He almost died.
He had
Yeah.
diverticulitis. That is brutal, man.
Oh yeah, I know.
Brutal.
But even
And then you're
after-
getting kicked in the getting kicked in the chest and kicked in the stomach. Like,
yeah,
let's be real, man. That's
he's a big mug.
not somebody for.
Or how about this? The Undertaker. You know how like he thought about going to mixed martial arts when UFC started getting hot.
Yeah.
He went to leave wrestling and do mixed martial arts. See him fight maybe Junior Dos Santos, maybe. I
Or
think that'd be a
Stipe
good fight.
Miocic.
Well, that's it. Yeah.
Because Stipe Miocic keeps getting overlooked, bro. He keeps getting overlooked. He's not even the conversation for a championship now, and he's been pretty pissed off lately. I mean,
Yeah.
but so we're getting to the end of the show. Just for all you guys watching, we will be going to just one show a week, only on Wednesdays. So please tune in and watch us every Wednesday at 6 p.m. And as the holidays approach, man, we're just going to kick back and just do one show a week, I feel as though, it's the right move to make, you know. So for all you guys watching, we have a lot of content on the Devo Sports platform. We have the Breakfast and Body Slams. We have the old school show coming up right next, live in the studio at Last Out, you know. And then we have Gobbler Inc., who will be doing Sundays solo. But hey, don't underestimate them. They're a great show as well. And then we have the Sullivan Show on Mondays at 6 p.m. Look, we have a lot of great content here for me, for Chris, for Vinny Quinn, for Bill Cornfield. Have a great night, everybody.